So, I hope we're ready. I hope you got your ovens preheated.
Yes.
All right.
Ready to go.
We are going to go through right now, and I'm just going to go through and stretch a dough. So while I'm doing that, we'll talk about sauce a little bit. So my previous classes, I talked about a little bit about pizzas and Panza's restaurant. Well, I learned pizza at Panza's restaurant. So the sauce, I don't cook the sauce before I put it on the pizza. I use good San Marzano whole peel tomatoes. I puree them either in a blender or with a stick blender. And I use just a little bit of garlic, salt, good olive oil, and a pinch of oregano. Not too much. Okay? So we've got our flour right here. And I'm just kind of throw some right on my board here. All right. Oh yeah. Throw the flour right on the board.
I need a board.
Or your tabletop if you've got your marble
Oh, okay. I can do it.
counters. It's fine. It's just a spot to. So when I first started doing this, I used too much flour and I had flour all over me every time. So got this dough. It's really feels nice and soft. All right. So we're gonna start. I'm just gonna put a little bit more flour on it, and I'm just gonna start by pushing it out. Flatten it with your fingers. Start from the middle, work your way out. And there's no rush. You want a nice, even circle. So we introduced this hand-stretched Neapolitan pizza at the Garlic Knot last year, I think. And it's really popular on campus. We constantly do all different kinds. What's really nice is the students get to see us kind of back there stretch it. So you see I'm kind of just getting it ready, getting comfortable with it. So the dough can be pretty intimidating, all right? But once you get used to it, how it's supposed to feel. So I'm not gonna work my way from the middle. I'm gonna stay around the edges. If you can see that, you can kind of see my fingers are at the edges, right? And I'm just gonna stretch just by pulling it out just a little bit. And if it's a good dough, which this is a great dough, you'll feel that elasticity and you'll feel it stretch. Again, stay away from the middle. Stay right on the outside and have your hands kind of like this. You definitely don't want to have a diamond ring on. All right? And it goes quick. You know, these pizza shops that you see, they'll do this whole process in like 1 minute, 30 seconds to a minute. And you can see it's starting to stretch out nicely already. But I'm staying to the edge. I'm staying to the outside. And I can feel like if it's a little bit thin in spots, but if you stay around the edge, you see it's starting to get a little bigger, right? And you can kind of feel when it starts to stretch. And you can see on this side, I'm looking at the pizza crust, and I can see the thin spots. You can see if you could see through the dough a little bit. And if it's a really thin spot, you can just avoid that spot. But just keep going around. Right?
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it's not looking like Patrick.
It takes practice, okay? And, you know, so when you get it to a point where, all right, you feel like it's getting pretty good, you know, you can go in the middle, do a little toss if you feel comfortable with that. All right? Again, put your hands in the middle, do a little toss, all right? So this is almost ready. You can see when it starts to feel like it's really starting to stretch and you're afraid you're going to rip it, that's when it's ready, all right? So I'm going to take my pizza screen. I like it to cover the pizza screen. So if you have a brand new pizza screen that you just bought, you can season it in the oven by heating it up. You can also spray it with a little nonstick spray. All right, see that?
You need non-stick spray?
You don't need it. No, these are already, these pizza screens that I have given you are already seasoned. Once they've been seasoned, once they've been used a couple times, kind of like a cast iron skillet. So you see where I'm going around the outside and I'm kind of stretching that? This is what makes that hand-tossed dough. Like, you know, I like it to cover the screen completely. I like a big pizza. And I like it to look like I hand-stretched
I don't think I'm going to rip it.
I've given you 2 doughs as well, just in case.
My sous chef is doubting my ability to not rip it.
Patrick, can you talk a little bit about if you don't have OO flour, can you use all-purpose?
You
And what
can
will be
use
the
all-purpose
difference?
flour, but the double O flour or the high gluten flour, it doesn't have to be double O flour, but a good high gluten flour, it just has more gluten to it, and it's more pliable, and it's a finer flour, if you will. But you
How about-
can use all-purpose flour, absolutely.
What about bread flour?
Bread flour is usually like a high gluten flour, so yeah, you could substitute bread flour. Things about dough that you need to know about. So so I delivered your doughs today. The dough can be so different
Middle.
if it's if it's warm outside, if it's humid outside, if it's cold outside. This all really affects the dough. So it's never pizza dough or bread dough or anything like that. It's never quite the same. It always can be a little bit different. So it's practice, and it's kind of knowing what that dough is supposed to feel like. And like I said, the temperature range makes a big difference. And
Patrick,
working that gluten.
Would you be willing to help Fran'Cee with her finger positioning?
Leave me alone.
Help her a little bit. No,
I can't see, but
right. So how do you hold your hands? Like, are your knuckles tucked under, kind of like fists, or what's the best way?
I'll show you. So this one we're going to save for Stromboli, but I'll do this one too, just to get it ready.
Yeah.
So I kind of go like this, underneath the dough.
You're breaking something.
What? Hold on, do it again.
And I have to say, I wasn't a proficient pizza maker. I mean, I've been a chef my whole life, but most of them have been in hotels and fine dining restaurants. So when we opened the Garlic Knot, I really did a lot of research and a lot of recipe and just trial and error. It really, yeah, we took the students out and we asked the students, what do you want to see? What's your favorite pizza? What do you order off campus? And so they seem to like the same kind of pizza that I do and that Jim does. And, that's the New York City Neapolitan style hand stretch dough.
Oh!
Again, so now I got it like this, right? And I like to just kind of throw it back and forth, kind of stretches it out a little bit. Looks cool too. All right, but I'm going to turn around so you can kind of see my hands.
Gotta stretch it some more.
Fran'Cee, are you taking notes?
From
Look at
you?
this.
No. From
Look
Patrick?
at that.
Yes.
All right, Francie's getting it. There we go.
All it takes is a little time. A little more seasoned than you are, Matt, Just a little bit, okay? Don't get it twisted. I'm not old.
All right, we having fun? You feel pretty good?
Oh yeah.
I need a little bit more on my pizza stretching skills. But
It takes practice.
It's quite therapeutic. I probably need some dough every day to just stretch
You
it
can
out.
also use a rolling pin if you don't feel comfortable, but that's no fun,
That doesn't feel authentic to me.
right? It's all about the hand stretch.
I need to.
Patrick, Matt has worked himself a nice little hole in his dough. Is there a way to deal with that?
That's because he was trying to talk mess.
No, the hole was there before.
Pinch it all back together. Try to just pinch it all back together as best you can.
It's because I was going for the toss. That got me. Fran'Cee, I haven't seen any tosses out of you yet.
And you won't, okay? Because guess what? We don't need all the flair to win over here. I'm enough flair in and of myself,
I
okay?
love it.
Excuse me.
So see that? See my hands?
My sous chef.
Can you guys see my hands?
Yes, I feel like that's what mine are doing in my head. Mhm.
Or not.
And different people do it different ways.
And Fran'Cee, just from the Q&A section, just so you know, Erica feels like Matt looks like a natural, but she has confidence that you got this.
Thank
Wow.
you, Erica.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank you that I've got this. That's right.
I'm being a pizza.
Next time, let's fry chicken.
Oh, we're gonna win that one.
Dadgummit, I can win that. Or even make enchiladas. The Texan in me is ready.
All right,
Macaroni and cheese.
let me know when you got it on the screen. You have it on the screen?
Who, me?
Both
Okay,
of you.
This is what it looks like. See?
I got to move to my screen.
Is that? I'm just stretching now on the screen, right?
Yeah, once you get it on the screen, you can just kind of pull it to the edges.
Cool.
I like to almost like create a crust with my thumb and my forefinger.
Oh yeah.
You know, give it that hand toss
Yeah.
look.
She's gonna go.
Doesn't need to be perfect.
And that's the thing, like, it doesn't need to be perfect. As a matter of fact, imperfection is perfection when it comes to pizza, I believe.
Yeah, that is in life. That's a word. That's a whole class.
Right?
Imperfection.
All right, so I'm going to demonstrate saucing.
Oh yeah.
So the sauce that I gave you is measured out. So I put 8 ounces of sauce on a 16-inch pizza, 18-inch pizza. So I've got it measured out, but I've given you this little spoodle, if you will, spoon ladle, right? And this is nice to this is nice to sauce the pie. You'll see. So when you're doing it really fast, I always teach people at the garlic knot that if you're doing a bunch of pizzas and you got to go fast, that you take that spoodle. See, this is exactly that measured out. So I'm gonna pour it right in the middle. And what I like to do is just start in the middle, work my way outside.
Okay. Okay.
And after making pizzas for a long time, and when it gets to the point where you're really busy and you got to knock out a bunch of pizzas, this motion that I'm doing is literally like 1, 2, 3, done. See how that sauce is nice and thin? I like my sauce, and it's your preference. If you like a chunkier sauce, feel free. If you like, I like a smooth puree, and I like not too much sauce on my pizza. But whatever your preference is, if you like a chunkier sauce, like I said, you can, instead of pureeing the whole peeled tomatoes, you can take one of those mashers and make more of like a marinara. So how are we doing? Are we saucing all right?
I think my sauce looks pretty good, if I do say so myself.
I wish I could see it. I can't, unfortunately.
Let me see what I can do here.
A swirling show.
So,
And swirl it around.
Oh, we're gonna get on the crust.
That's it's good. Like it.
We gotta figure this out because I can't hear and you can't see.
How
All
are we
right.
looking?
so
Fan.
we've got our cheese, right? So the container that I gave you is enough cheese for 2 pizzas, so you kind of want to use about half of that. Let me explain something about toppings. So I gave both
You can
Dean, Fran'Cee, and Matt a bunch of different toppings so that they could choose the toppings that they would like. I want to give a piece of advice though. Don't put too many toppings on a pizza. Sometimes people load pizzas up with too many toppings and they end up, it takes longer to cook. Some people put too much cheese on. You'd be surprised how the cheese doesn't need to be as much as you think. So I'm just going to demonstrate kind of putting this cheese on. This is a nice mozzarella provolone blend. I'd like to stress, use whole milk mozzarella.
Yes.
That whole part skin, doesn't melt as good. I think a good pizza, San Marzano tomatoes, whole milk mozzarella. Okay, you see how I'm kind of going nice and
around in one
yeah,
second.
nice and easy, not a lot of clumps.
In one section.
Now, one thing we didn't talk about, and we're not going to see this because you're not going to, I don't have an oven behind me, is when I do stick this pizza in, they take, in our pizza oven at the Garlic Knot, they take around 8 minutes, okay? Because it's a hand-stretched dough from scratch, it bubbles. So I usually have a fork, something like that, to pop the bubbles. If you get a big bubble in the middle and it rises, all the cheese and the sauce can kind of come off that bubble. So I like to pop those bubbles. And did you see how I went really close to the crust? Like with the sauce and the cheese. Nothing worse than a piece of pizza that's half crust and half pizza. All right, so
They're both getting there. Not quite yet.
So we have another comment from the Peanut Gallery. Somebody that named Marina. I don't know if you know her, Matt, but she says you look like Linguini from Ratatouille.
linguine, I love it.
It's not my first time I've gotten that one, but maybe today more than other days.
I like him. He's good.
Thank you.
All right, so I don't know what toppings you're going to use, but I'm going to do a Jersey pizza. Jersey pizza, pepperoni and jalapenos.
Oh.
I've got some bigger slices of pepperoni. We use a little bit smaller ones. I like the ones that are not cured. There's uncured pepperoni. It's really nice, got a good flavor. I like them a little thicker. Sometimes you get that cup pepperoni where you get that little cups right up. But I think a lot of times pizza shops and people don't put enough on their pizza. So if I'm using small pieces of pepperoni, I almost like them touching because when it melts, they'll separate a little bit. You can't be stingy with pepperoni. And I like to see how close to the crust I go, like to the outside.
Just pepperoni.
Broccoli. No, but we can't put too many toppings on. That's what Chef
You can put whatever you want on there. Just if you do put more toppings, just put a little less of each.
I don't think she wants some meat lovers, and meat lovers with broccoli doesn't sound great. So we just want a mixture of meat.
So yeah, sausage and pepperoni.
Sure.
Sausage and pepperoni. All right, we're doing the same.
Word.
Don't be afraid to be creative.
Matt, can we see your progress? The crowd wants
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah, sorry.
The dice.
See, so I got in the shape of a U,
Oh.
you know, for spirit.
Nice.
320.
But now I feel like the middle is lacking a little bit. So
How do we do that? Oh, okay.
Hold on.
The Jersey.
Do this. I'm gonna tell me to hold on.
Bottom oven.
Oh, thank you.
Not the bottom shelf, but the second to bottom shelf. You'll see. So I've got Jim cooking my pizza for me now.
Yeah, Jim will be eating it too.
Let's hope it makes it back here.
So they're not quite putting
Yep.
the other toppings.
So, the pizza. So many different things you could do. So while we've got, these are Neapolitan style. The thing about this dough is, you know, you could put it into a deep dish. And so if you wanted a thicker crust, a deep dish, if you will, you could, you put it in the pan, well oiled, and then let it sit. You could top it with all the toppings and let it sit for like an hour so that it proofs up. So we're actually serving pizza tonight in the kiosk. And last time I did this style, well, tonight for the students, I did Sicilian style. So it's a nice thick crust. It's a half sheet pan. Same dough. When I put it in the pan and topped it, I let it sit so that the dough rose and proofed a little bit more.
We have a question in from Lola asking all three of our chefs tonight how they feel about pineapple on pizza.
It is a must. I love pineapple on pizza.
No.
absolutely not.
It's very, that's very controversial right there. Some people die hard, will not do it, but I think it's like wine. If it tastes good, it's fine,
Hey.
right?
Do
It's
you
really
see
all
when we have a shout out to the class of 2020? Our sausage is the 2 and the pepperoni is the 0. And then we have an underlying accent there.
That's excellent. That's being creative right there.
See, it looks good, but I don't know how the proportion, the distribution of the toppings is actually going to taste. Just personally.
That's fine. That's why it's you be creative over there in Niskayuna, okay?
I love the friendly competition banter that's going on.
Listen, we've got to make ourselves laugh here, okay?
It's all about fun, right?
Don't take yourself too seriously.
All right, so let's talk about the oven. You're going to put it towards the bottom, not on the bottom directly, but like I think a third up from the bottom. All right? And depending on your oven, you're going to go probably 8 to 10, maybe even 11 minutes. But keep an eye on it when you put it in there. And you might have to rotate it a little bit. Now, when we're making pizza at the Garlic Knot, we've got the pizza oven. So we got the peel and we kind of slide it right in there. But this is home pizza right here. If you have a pizza stone, I recommend heating it up first and then sliding the pizza onto it.
Is that good?
But the screens work really well too.
Ooh, that's pretty. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And when you get your pizzas in the oven, I'll show you how to roll a stromboli real
Yeah.
quick.
Okay, we're doing that now. Here we go.
Mhm.
Put the pizzas in.
I feel like I need like background music.
No. No, no. Look.
I can't even hear.
On the
It is
bottom,
so
right?
Look at
On the bottom.
Bottom rack, middle rack, bottom rack.
Bottom right.
Yeah, not on the bottom, but you know, as close as you can get.
You said close to the bottom as you can get?
Yeah, like if like a third of the way up, like you know, maybe that much from the bottom. You don't want it sitting directly on the bottom.
You said I wasn't a math major. Go ahead.
About that much from the bottom of the oven. So not halfway, but like a third from the bottom.
Okay.
All right, pizza's in the oven.
Both pizzas are in the oven?
Okay.
Both pizzas. Oh yeah, Fran'Cee's as well.
All right. So while those pizzas are cooking, I took that other dough, and I don't know if you noticed, but I've got it so that it's like more of a rectangle.
Nobody's doing anything right now.
You got a rectangle,
Yes.
right? And
We doing this? Is this a demonstration or we need to do it too?
no. What I'm doing is just filling time while our pizzas are cooking.
Oh, okay.
So we do a little stromboli while the pizzas are cooking because you know we do the strombolis at the garlic knot, and we do a veggie one or a meat one, and it's just. And if you have that other dough, if you want to make stromboli, you can. But I would be watching your pizza. See, I have an assistant. Jim's watching my pizza. So that's what gives me the time to make stromboli. So the stromboli, it's kind of the same concept, but I'm rolling it up. Now the stromboli, you're going to cook at a little bit less temperature, 400, something like that, and probably 25 minutes. And a good way to tell if that stromboli is done, kind of tap on the top, but if it feels hollow. So I've got my cheese here, and I'm going to do pepperoni again because I like it, and salami. I'm going to roll it up.
Patrick, we had a question come in about why are you putting the pizza as close to the bottom as
a
possible?
lot of time.
Because so when you're using a pizza oven, you're putting that pizza right on usually like 1,000-degree brick or a wood-fired, situation. So it's really, really, really hot.
Yeah.
And that bottom heat.
Should I make some?
Oftentimes you see pizza ovens are shallow too. They're not tall. But that bottom heat, you want that crisp crust. I think it's really important to get that nice crisp crust. And when you're doing it at home, experiment it with it. Keep an eye on it. There's nothing wrong with getting in that oven, taking a pair of tongs or a spoon or a spatula and kind of lifting up that crust just to see where it's at. So that way, if it's too close to the bottom, it can burn easily. If it's not close to the bottom, it could burn on the top, and the bottom of the dough could be kind of doughy and not cooked all the way.
I like crispy. Do you
Me
leave it?
too. And when we pull our pizza out of the oven and I cut it, hopefully you'll be able to hear that crunch all the way through. You really want to hear that crispy crust. It's pretty important.
No,
I know. I'm gonna look at
that's
it.
not good.
So let me ask you, what are your favorite pizza shops? Do you like some favorite pizza shops in the area? Pizza King or Paulie's, or do you like Chicago deep dish style?
Pizza King.
We do like Pizza King here, but I love deep dish. I haven't found it here.
Yeah, there isn't really a lot of deep dish pizza in New York.
Audience, feel free to answer. I will share your results.
I just want to take a second and shout out my sponsor, the Fury's Olive Oil.
Yeah, let's go back
it
to
is-
summary. Just grab that.
It is a local family-owned business selling organic extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Nice.
It's fantastic product, and women-owned and operated, 100% sustainable. It's really good stuff. So putting in the link, shop the Furies.
I love it. Support local business.
All right, so while our pizzas are still cooking, you see my stromboli? I don't know if you could see that really well. I've got the blurry camera on the top. So I've got the dough, and I've got a little bit of space all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little egg wash. The egg wash is to kind of keep that, it's like the glue, if you will, to keep it all together when it rolls up. You see I've got that egg wash around the outside. All right. And then real nice and easy, I'm just gonna roll it up. I like it nice and tight.
And make a stromboli.
Just tuck in. You can see that? So if you've got that other pizza dough and you want to make stromboli, go for it.
I might do that.
Right? So see how it's rolling up? And then halfway, I like to kind of pinch that side a little bit. Right? Kind of seal it in there.
Sounds good.
All right? I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yep.
Boom. Right? So stromboli.
Look at
Chef
that.
Patrick, what's the best method of dough stretching here? I missed it. Is it
I
the
think
same
that-
on the fingers?
Yeah, so that many people do it different ways. Oh, baby. See how that slid right off? You can hear that. All right, so you got the stromboli. What I like to do with the stromboli real quick, I take a little paring knife
No.
and I do
Yeah, and then you
some
take-
slices on the top.
Oh, okay.
I egg wash it so that it gets some nice color when I bake it. All right, so I don't know where your pizzas are, but I've got a big convection oven here, so mine cooks probably a little quicker.
6 minutes.
What do we think here?
So see that? I don't know if you can see that, but that's what you want.
That looks good.
See that nice crunch?
My crust isn't brown enough yet.
Work on it.
It really depends on the oven.
I'm gonna give it about 30 more seconds.
Use the wrong oven.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. Some characteristics of fresh dough
Talk about
compared to a frozen dough or a store-bought dough. See these nice bubbles around the outside? See that nice char? You know, when you do a wood-fired oven, you might even get a little bit more char than that. And wood-fired ovens, you know, you'll cook that pizza in like 3 minutes versus 8, depending on the temperature of the oven. But that's our Jersey pizza right there. And I can't wait to see yours.
Make sure they check out.
All right, I think mine's coming out.
Be careful.
There's a bubble that big.
This one right here, I see it.
Donna shouts out that Homestyle has the best broccoli pizza in town.
Do they do it with white sauce? I like
So
white
I'm glad that you asked. All right, so when I do a white broccoli pizza, I don't use white sauce. No red sauce, and instead of the red sauce, I put a drizzle of olive oil, probably about a tablespoon of fresh garlic, and I rub it all around. And then, believe it or not, a pinch of salt. And then I put the cheese on, and I like to blanch the broccoli. We've talked about blanching in the past because it gives it that nice bright green color. And I also like to do little dollops of ricotta, but I don't do like an Alfredo sauce on a white pizza. Some people do. You know, we do a chicken bacon ranch where we use ranch dressing, things like that. Barbecue chicken pizza, buffalo chicken pizza. There's a whole bunch of favorites. So if you're doing your barbecue chicken, you just use barbecue sauce instead of your pizza sauce. Red onion, nice pieces of chicken. And, you know, we do a couple different pizzas here too. Where I do, there's one where we do prosciutto and arugula, and there's another one that's vegetarian that is pesto with tomato, and a nice little trick that we do, nice little garnish, if you will, is we take balsamic glaze and we'll do like a drizzle out of a squeeze bottle onto the pizza. And it just gives it real nice flavor, and it just makes it a little bit different. How are we looking?
Mine is still not ready yet, so it's
That's
still,
all right. Yeah, it might take
What
a
do we
little.
think?
It looks good, Matt. I like
Can everyone
the
see? I can't tell.
looks a little. The crust looks like it's. I like thick crust, so it looks like you've got some good height to your crust. It looks good.
We do too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Matt?
So we had a few more
that looks
comments.
good.
We had a few
Yeah,
more
look.
comments come in. Saratoga folks like
See you in the bottom.
Mama Mia's in Spring Street. Lola says she stand by the garlic knot broccoli pizza. I suspect stands by it. So the garlic knot is winning on that one.
So that's funny that you say that because Mamma Mia's is one of my favorite pizza spots. I go there often. I know the owner, I know the chef, I know a lot of the pizza guys. And when we were doing the garlic knot, I really wanted it to be just like Mamma Mia's.
Matt, some people think that you're a little short on your pepperoni, buddy.
How's the bottom of yours looking, Matt?
Come on. All right,
How's the
let me check
bottom?
the bottom. Let's see.
Yeah, let me check mine, make sure I don't burn it.
Home Styles Pizza is not a red sauce. It is
What do you
garlic,
think?
not red.
I honestly don't think the bottom could be more perfect.
Oh, it looks good. Nice job. Yep, that's nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah, no, don't look it out yet. The bottom's dull.
You're good, I can see it.
Bottom looks good.
I'd say that's a good pizza right there.
Yeah. Ours is not ready still.
Gotta cut it. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna eat
What's
like
going on with that oven?
I know. Right. It's new too. It's a brand new.
All facilities.
All facilities. Get them over there to
It's
look at.
cooking. It's cooking. It's just not where I need it to be.
That's all right.
Needed a little dark.
I mean, pretty soon I'm gonna start eating this one.
You got a whole week.
So, all right, so, we made this stromboli. Well, you could also make calzones too, where you would take a small ball and push it out and be about that big, and you could stuff it and then make a crescent, almost like a ravioli, if you will. And that's your calzone. You could put buffalo chicken in it. You could put cheese and broccoli and ricotta. Really, really nice.
Ooh. Matt, are
How
you
we
making another pizza or are you doing stromboli?
I haven't
Well,
decided yet.
This will take 25, 30 minutes in the oven. So this
The
is for another
stromboli,
day.
and then you cut it after you're done?
Yes, and I actually let it sit for a little while so that it kind of, for about maybe 10 minutes after it comes out of the oven. So that way the cheese has a chance to, yeah, and it doesn't ooze out as much when you cut it. You let the temperature drop a little bit and the cheese kind of, when you do cut it, I cut it on the bias. This right here, I'll usually get probably 5 good slices out of. But you could get many slices out of it if you'd like, depending on what you're going for.
Oh, that looks a little
It's the tongue.
Look.
What do we
Oh,
think?
here it
Peter?
comes.
Stromboli or
That looks a little nervous.
sign? What kind? Stromboli or you want pizza?
Vegas,
All right.
Mr. Benny's favorite guy.
Making another pizza.
Yeah, go for it. I love it. Look, he looks like a pro
Looks
already.
comfortable. Tell me you got some hours and shifts at the
Yeah,
garden.
if you want to pick up some shifts at the Garlic Knot when we come back, that'd be great.
Hey, I wouldn't mind.
It's fun, very therapeutic, and I can teach you to make the dough. We make the dough in great big batches. Actually, not really that great big. A 25-pound batch. So
Pretty
25
big.
What do we go through 100 balls a day?
Yeah, we go through about 100 pizzas a day at the Garlic Knot.
What do you think? Should I go for a toss?
Go for it. That thing is huge. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, but Fran'Cee, he's kind of, he's got that showmanship
Taking the
going
lead.
on.
There we go.
He's showing off.
That's fine.
Our pizza's
Hold
done.
on, Ken.
It's done?
I
Yeah.
think so.
I can't wait to see it.
Hold on. Let's do it so we can.
Ooh.
20.
Very nice. Very nice.
Bottom, we got bottom.
Boom.
Look at Matt. He's having a ball. I love it.
I think I want the crust a little thinner on this one.
Yeah.
Are we gonna make a stromboli or are we gonna do? I feel like we should do stromboli.
So let's see your crust, Fran'Cee. Let's see your crust on your pizza.
Come on, Ken.
How's that bottom of that pizza look?
Hold on. Where is it?
That's pretty good.
How do we?
Looking good. So you used a pan. Or no, did you?
There we go. It's in there.
Excuse
Hold
me.
on, I can't lift my stuff. Yeah. Here we go. I switched it and moved it.
Well, I, for one, think you both did a fantastic job. Pizzas look great.
Thank you.
Don't get to do whatever.
Tastes even better.
And it'll taste even better.
What are we doing to it though?
Do a stromboli.
And you can save that other dough for whatever you'd like.
Okay, we're making a stromboli then.
Stromboli. I mean,
So several people have commented in the comments that this has been really fun and it's cracking them up and it's just what they needed to take the edge off of the week. So thank you both for your participation and of course, Chef Patrick. We always forget to thank ITS, who's been amazing through all of this and making these things happen behind the scenes. So big shout out to Michael. Michael has also created a online polling situation for in Zoom. I don't think any of us have ever used it, so we are gonna put a poll out to get to a winner of this competition. So Michael, whenever you get
We're gonna
to
do
it,
a poll to get a winner. I love it.
feel free, Matt and Fran'Cee, to show off your pizzas one more time because you're getting voted.
All right.
I'm submitting.
Hold on.
That's close.
It is. I think they both look great.
Yeah. Maybe I should stop by and have a slice at each place.
Grandma and Aunt Jeannie, you better vote for me.
Look at them working.
It's a good looking pie.
Thank you.
Doesn't look right. There we go.
Excellent.
Good. I just want to eat it now. I'm really hungry. Okay, what are you putting in this thing?
What?
What are you
Put
putting
the broccoli, the sausage, and pepperoni.
Okay.
I didn't notice. Did you wear the aprons?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. When I first started tossing pies, I had flour all over me. And then I got better and better at it. And I wear an apron so that way afterwards I can still be presentable.
On the stromboli, what did you put on there? Like, is there anything on the dough?
So it was just a dough, and then I put the same amount of cheese that I would for a pizza and the same amount of pepperoni that I would for a pizza. And then I used egg wash around the outside.
Okay.
If I was to do broccoli and cheese, I would have put a little bit of oil and garlic and salt down first.
Oh, hold on. Let's do oil, garlic, salt.
All right, we got 3 people left to vote. You don't have to, but this is your last call to vote before we tally the results.
Let's call the vote. Put in your votes.
I think it's going to be close.
Oh, I have garlic. And so I have garlic salt. Haha.
I don't know about you, but I'm dying to eat this pizza. Dying.
I can't believe how quick it cooked. Camera's been perfect too ever since we opened. Ever since we started. Yeah. I don't know now.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, good.
No issues. Yep.
Maybe it just needed to,
A couple of times I've opened it for 80% of it.
maybe it was
Oh,
consistent
yeah.
with the movement
Done.
first couple times.
That's done now.
All right, this is the final call for votes. Make sure you hit submit if you, I forgot to do that myself, so hit submit if you haven't.
Good luck to both of you.
The polls are closed. Results are in.
Oh,
I'll let you know in a second.
Oh, that's done.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, the results are going to be shown via Zoom. Here they come.
Oh, there they are.
oh yeah. Let's
Good
go.
job, Matt. It was close, though. Was it?
It's just totally because it's his classmates and his girlfriend on here.
It's a mixed bag of folks in here. We can see it's a little bit of everybody.
It is all good. The students are always winners, so I love it.
It's faculty, staff, students, grandparents, and more.
Yes.
I love it.
It is a
Thank
wonderful
you,
mix of people.
Good job.
I know I had fun.
I do think that the toss might have put Matt over the edge.
The toss came after, didn't it?
The voting had not yet begun. It is all.
That's just weighted different.
It's called strategy.
There you go. I'll take it. Again, students are winners and we made the people enjoy their evening. So I'm grateful.
So keep an eye out for the next challenge. We'll be doing something.
Yes. I'm more than happy to come back and provide comedic relief to the people whenever they need it. Because again, I don't take myself too seriously. Can't.
Don't let those pizzas get cold.
No. And
Eat them while they're hot.
my child just left me doing stromboli so she could eat.